Let's go! Hold. Sit. Heel. Sit. Easy. Get them. Hold. Drop. Heel. Sit. Heel. Back. Sit. Hello and good evening. Just noticed don't have any video. It never fails on these stupid things. What's going on? Hello, everyone. Good evening. Let's just go into some graphics. I know that works. There should be a picture of me in there somewhere. But good evening. It's March 12th, 7 o'clock. Black Blizzard Retrievers, Mike Kerr checking in with you live here on YouTube. Take a look at the Spring Grand. That opened up. And the Spring Grand is expected to close on March 25th. So make sure you check that out. That's probably the biggest newsworthy tip I have for you today is the Spring Grand is open up. So our first national event for 2026 is up and running, and you can enter, I believe, at hrcentry.com. So take advantage of that. So what's going on elsewhere? Again, we announced this last week that the Master Amateur has their judges selected for the 2026 Master Amateur Invitational. And again, I announced this last week, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. I got to apologize. I've been very, very busy this week dealing with a lot of severe weather around southwest Montana, and I haven't had really time to put together a decent show, but I'm definitely going to try and pass along at least a few little things. So the big news in the Master Amateur world, again, the announcement for the judges, I do believe that entries on Entry Express will be opening very, very, very soon, possibly next week. So make sure you check out, again, entryexpress.net. Check out the Wisconsin site, and if you want to get in early for the Master Amateur Invitational in Stoughton, Wisconsin, entries should begin to open up next week or the week after, but it's going to be soon. Very, 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 very soon. Let's see. In the world of Master National news on their blog here today, they had an announcement that they're saying goodbye to one of the former Master National judges and handler, Jim Charbonneau. I don't know James or Jim, and if you do, you may want to jump on here and leave a comment on the Master National Retriever Club website. So a little bit of sad news to share with you there. Oh, let's see. That should not be doing that. Why is that doing that? Well, let me try and work on this video thing, but I'm sure you can hear me. Let's see if I can pop that back in there. OBS. Maybe that'll work. There we go. Yeah, I don't have the green screen effect, but that's okay too. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Mike Hurd. Again, I've had a very, very hectic week in severe winter weather around Southwest Montana, so I haven't really had a chance to put together a proper show for you all. And there hasn't been a lot of news to share with you over the last 7 days, I guess, in the retriever world. I guess the big news, the only really big news, is that the spring grant entries are open, and take advantage of that. I've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes videotaping, and I've come to the conclusion in doing some analytical data that I'm not going to be posting as many videos, so I'm not going to do 2 a week. I'm only going to do one, and the big video drop now is just going to be on Sunday versus Friday and Sunday. So the next video coming up will be on Sunday, and make sure to take a look at the video that I've labeled When to Move Up, the 30-day rule. And this, again, is mainly for new folks getting involved in the retriever hunt test game. I know a lot of you, I started the same way in the junior hunt test world, and then I moved up to senior, then tried to move up to master. But my first couple of dogs, it was a disaster trying to move up, and I really struggled with it with my first couple of dogs. And I didn't really know back in the early 90s, there really wasn't a whole lot of information, and that's what this whole YouTube channel is all about, is getting some good quality amateur to amateur information out there. And I put together a nice topic here. I've got some basic advice for you. I've got a 30-day rule in there, when to try and move up, because the one thing I struggle, or you see a lot, new folks that struggle, is moving from junior to senior. And one of the things that is a big topic when you move up from junior to senior is walk-ups. In the senior, a walk-up is required, and that means your dog has to have a much higher degree of control. They have to come out of the last holding blind. You have a gun in your hand, and you're walking to this imaginary spot, and once you or the dog gets there, this bird's going to be presented at a max distance of 45 yards. It has to be presented at a max distance of 45 yards. Now, the bird can go farther than 45 yards, but this is a big leap forward in having control over your dog, because here you run into controlled breaks, for example, or even just a break. So this can be a hard thing for new folks to train on when they get to the senior level. And of course, walk-ups are a part of master, but it's part of a triple. So you have to have one walk-up there. But it basically is a simulation of like jump shooting. Like you wouldn't jump shot a bird out of a ditch or something like that. And that's what this represents. But again, walk-ups is a big topic when you try and move up from junior into senior. So I took my AKC judges exam today and did pretty good. I was pretty happy about it. It never fails. Every time I go in there and do that, it is different. And trying to find it was kind of a pain. But now they've got some university thing, I don't know. But there's a whole bunch of courses in there, and you can find it for free. You can take that judge's exam. And again, that keeps me qualified to judge for another 4 or 5 years here. So, all right. So the other big topic here, again, for this evening is talking about serious faults. And this was on the judge's exam. And I threw together a quick graphic for you. Serious dog faults and serious handler faults. And if you go to the rule book, which you can get a PDF of, you can download that off the AKC website, or just do a Google search, and you can download the latest rules and regulations, which I thought was very strange that they haven't updated that since 2021. So it's probably about time they do so. But anyway, you can take a look at the rules, and in the very back of the rule book, there's minor, moderate, and serious faults in there. And there are serious dog faults and serious handler faults. And serious dog faults that are pretty much going to get you zeroed out somewhere along the way is breaking. Breaking at any level is going to get you disqualified. And especially in the master level, there is no such thing as a break. So you got to really train for that. And a dog that's out of control is another big topic. For a dog to get DQ'd in a hunt test. Failure to deliver to hand at every level, junior, senior, master. Delivery to hand is required. Dogs that freeze, they freeze on the bird. It doesn't mean they freeze out in the field. They'll freeze on a bird because they're not thinking, or they got too much adrenaline going, or something weird is going on in the dog's brain. But dogs can freeze on a bird and don't give it up. And you'll see this every now and then in your judging junior, senior, master, but more so in the senior and master when pressure gets a lot more intense. You can see this kind of thing. And sometimes you are not going to get that bird out of the dog's mouth until you take it back to the truck and you literally have to rip it out of their mouth. But that's not something you want to do in front of judges or gallery or anybody else, because you really can't get physical with the dog. And then hard mouth or damaging the bird. You'll see this every now and then as well, especially in the senior and master levels. Not so much in the junior because they're kind of young and dumb, but hard mouth can be something that judges look for when you bring the bird back. They should anyway, inspect every bird that you bring back. Now, switching is another big topic for serious fault in a dog. And you can see this at junior, but it's more into when you get into doubles and triples that a dog will switch. That means, for example, the last bird thrown might have been a flyer, and the dog wouldn't got the flyer. And then you send it for one of the other dead bird marks, and you send them, and then they decide, nah, I'm going to go back to where that flyer was. Well, that's called switching, and you can't return to an old fall. Failure to find a bird. A dog that hunts and hunts and hunts and hunts and hunts, can't find the bird, can't bring it back, can't pass. Now, there will be good judges out there. If a dog cannot find a bird, they will tell the handler, all right, pick the dog up, bring it back here. We're going to walk out there and take a look and see if we can find that bird. And if you can find that bird in the field, with the judges, that is, that find that bird in the field, and they determine that that should have been a retrievable bird, then you're not going to get a rerun, and you pretty much fail the test. And blinking birds. You don't see this very often. It's kind of rare, but again, it usually means the dog, well, let's just say what it is. A dog that finds the bird but fails to pick it up. We call it blinking. It looked at it, yeah, it saw it. Like, nah, I'm going to wander over here and see what's over here. I'm going to wander over there and see what's over there. And they come back and look at the bird and, nah, I don't want that one. And, that's called blinking. That's usually pressure related. Sometimes it can be goofy. They can have ants all over it or something like that. But usually the dog will pick it up and then spit it back out. But again, blinking is another serious dog fault. All right. Got 10 of y'all in the live show tonight. Thank you so much for checking this out. By the way, just drop a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from and how your spring training is going and what your future plans are. And eventually what I'd like to do is these live shots here, these live streams, is to have just some general Q&A and just to get some discussions going with all you retriever folks out there, just to do something on a Thursday evening, right? All right, so let's move into serious handler faults. All right, lining a dog in marking situations. Lining towards a fall before all the marks are down. Now, you're holding a gun, right? You can't go walking up there and just point the gun at the first gun station that goes off. You have to shoulder the gun when the bird goes off. So you can't point out marks in any level of hunt tests. It's not a field trial. We can walk up there and you can point the gun out and tell them easy, way back, mark, whatever. In a hunt test, it's supposed to be like you're hunting and you're shooting 3 birds from the line. You can point the gun when the mark goes off, and the dog should be able to follow the gun. Usually you're standing up, but pointing the gun before the marks go off is a major no-no. And that could really get you kicked out or disqualified before even the first bird goes down. Another big one, and this is usually with new folks in the junior, they get really nervous and they signal for the bird and start talking after they signal for the bird. You cannot say a word after you signal for the bird. It's hard. And what's really hard, even for me, is that when the birds go off and say my flyer went 50 yards farther than everybody else, and I'm going, oh, I'll let out a little disgruntled grunt or something like that to let the judges know I wasn't happy with that. But you got to be careful with that as well. Yeah, that's a no-no as well. Unsportsmanlike conduct, that's pretty much self-explanatory. And you go to any judge's seminar, they're going to hand you a different blue book, and it's all about unsportsmanlike conduct and how committees have to deal with that. And if you get written up, and then the committee has to get together, and you're going to have to explain yourself, and you may get written up, and you may be on the no-no list and have to pay a fine and all kinds of nastiness. But no, unsportsmanlike conduct is big, man. That means abuse or harassment or rough manhandling of even your dog, but verbal abuse of anybody at the event, especially judges and marshals and committee, etc. You got to park the attitude. All right, carrying exposed training equipment. The only thing that's acceptable is whistles. You have to have whistles, even in the junior. Whistles, master, senior, you need whistles for handling, but no training equipment exposed other than that. Of course, in the junior, you're going to have a flat buckle collar on the dog, but no tabs or anything like that on that collar. It's just got to be a clean, flat buckle collar. Restraining dogs on a line. The only place you can do that is at the junior. You cannot touch your dog. You can't verbally restrain the dog after you signal for the marks in the senior and master. If they start creeping and if they break, you either get them back in the senior or you're pretty much done in the master. Threatening gestures, of course, that's an obvious one. And then blocking a dog's view of a bird. You don't see that very often either, but some dogs may break on a flyer, and some handlers may block the view of that. So I got a couple of you chiming in here. Thank you, Peter K. Looking forward to the amateur. I'm assuming the Master Amateur Invitational. Again, next week, I believe the 17th is probably the earliest they're going to open up for entries for the Master Amateur Invitational. So it's going to be sometime next week. I'm not going to commit exactly to any given day, but look for that if you're planning on going. Enter early. So more people that enter early, the better prepared we can be before the national shows up. And Charles, thank you, Northern Michigan, embracing for a blizzard this weekend. Yeah, that's the same bloody storm that's over Montana right now. It's been one heck of an atmospheric river here, and we had hurricane force winds here today. We had 80 to 90 mile per hour winds, and that wind is beginning to settle down, and now we're dealing with winter storm warnings that are out for the next 3 days, especially for mountains, and which is wonderful because we've had very little snow, believe it or not, this whole entire winter season across the state of Montana. And then next week, it's going to get in the 70s, which is incredibly warm. So there could be a tremendous amount of melting snow and maybe some minor flooding. Yeah, it's a fun time to be in the Northern Rockies. All right, again, because of all that active weather, folks, I have very little time to put into the live stream here this week, and I haven't really had to test things out, and I built a few customary graphics here, but I just wanted to put something together and just to let you know where the channel is going here from now on, at least for the next several months. We're probably just going to put out one video a week, and the next one will be on Sunday. So every Sunday morning, I'm going to drop a video, and that's your next video to watch, comment, like, shares, do all that good stuff. Hopefully you guys get something out of all of this. If there's anything you want me to try and put together a video on, I'd welcome your feedback on that as well. And again, just thank you, everybody, for supporting this channel. And these live streams are just for you folks that are subscribers. Let's see, Peter K. Any idea when we can expect the announcement of the location for the 27 Master Amateur? That's coming soon. It's coming real soon. They didn't tell me, I'm the communications director, exactly when that announcement will be made. I think they want to wait until the close of the 26 event, so because we got a lot going on. The board is doing a lot just to get prepared for the national in 2026. And once we have that close, and then probably late April, early May, they'll make an announcement, if not sooner. But the last board meeting we had back on Tuesday of this week, there was no update on where it's going to be and when that announcement will be made. I know they've got some sites planned. It's in the West Central region. It's going to be anywhere. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm 99% sure it will not be in Texas. But it's probably going to move up into the middle part of the country, maybe closer to the Northern Rockies. It's going to be somewhere in the central and northern part of the West Central region is probably where it's going to be. I'm not 100% sure, but that was the discussion, the talk that they're trying to narrow down some clubs and some sites, etc. And they're working on it. That's the one thing I can tell you. They're working on it. And that announcement should be made here in the next month or two. It definitely will be made before the next the event in Wisconsin, that's for sure. So if you're qualifying or trying to get qualified for the 27 Master Amateur Invitational, again, that already has started. So the first weekend in March through the end of next February is the qualifying period for the 2027 Master Amateur Invitational. And if you didn't know, just drop this in y'all's lap. One, you have to be a member of the Master Amateur Retriever Club. That's step one. If you miss that, you're going to screw yourself on passes. You have to be a member. So once you're a member of the Master Amateur Retriever Club, then you try and get qualified. And you can get qualified by getting 4 passes. However, step 2 is you have to have a Master Hunter title. So you have to be a member, you have to have a Master Hunter title, and then you have to get 4 passes. Those are the 3 criteria. So let's say you became a member this year, you did not have a Master title. You have to get 6 passes to get your Master Hunter title. 4 of those passes will get you qualified for the Master Amateur Invitational in 2027. So what I'm saying is, you have to get 6 passes to get your Master Hunter title, and then you do not need an additional 4 passes on top of that to get qualified. But if you have a Master Hunter title, then you only need 4 passes at the Master level. And 2 of those count if you passed at the Master National last year. If you passed the Master National this year, rather, in October, 2 of those, that'll count as 2 passes towards the 27 Master Amateur Invitational. The only thing you have to do is, if you're trying to use that to get you qualified, you have to submit a form. If you pass the Master National, there's a form on the Master Amateur website that you have to fill out and send in to get those 2 passes to qualify for the 27 event. Yeah, a lot of crazy rules and regulations. And anyway, but we've had a lot of folks say, well, they qualified or they passed all the passes, and why aren't I qualified? Why am I not on the list? The main reason is they didn't become a member of the Master Amateur Retriever Club. That's step 1. So that's why I preach that over and over and over again. Even if you think you might run the 27 event, it's only $50. Just become a member of Mark, and then you don't have to worry about it. Then renew your membership beginning of every year. So that should begin to show up on the Master Amateur website. If you renewed your membership or became a new member, the list begins to populate sometime in the middle of March, because the new season begins March 1st. So look at the Master Amateur website, and if your name is not in there and you already became a member, don't worry about it. It'll slowly begin to populate, and the annual membership names will begin to move into that direction. What if you pass the Master Amateur? Does that help you? Yeah, you get 2 passes. So if you passed the Master Amateur last year, that counts for 2. Then you only need 2 more. Yeah. And again, that information should be on the Master Amateur Retriever Club website. So make sure you stop by there, and there's a lot of great information. There's a section called How It Works. Go through those drop-down tabs and take a look at it there. So I look forward to seeing you, Peter. I'm going to be live streaming the Master Amateur in Stoughton, Wisconsin, and hopefully you're there. And If you are, make sure you stop by and say hello. I'd love to talk to you. And during the live stream, when we're doing it for 8 hours a day, it's nice to have folks stop by and comment on, especially if they ran or if they're about to run or etc. And what you think of the event overall. All right, I'm surprised I got 25 minutes out of that. I literally threw that together right before this live stream. I was a little upset that my camera, I got a little camera here on a tripod, and that I got a board. I can see it in the board, but it's not connecting. Oh, I know why. Helps if I plug it into the board. It's a little late now. It came unplugged. That's why. So let's see if I go back. Well, it doesn't matter. We're pretty much done here anyway. So anybody have any other suggestions? Again, I'm making videos for you guys. I love feedback. Want the feedback. So make sure. See, told you. Now it just came unplugged on the back of my little board there. Always something. That one live shot I did and I couldn't get the microphone to work really upset me. And I didn't see it. So always these little things. I'm trying to run my laptop, switcher board, a video camera, a microphone. I'm trying to do it all. It could be comical. I'm comical. All right. God love me. All right, y'all. I'm pretty much chatted out for this evening. I'm going to get back to forecasting some severe winter weather. And we had an AKC Judges Seminar scheduled in Butte, Montana, out of my home club for this weekend. And I had to cancel it because we had a rep flying into Bozeman. He was going to drive over, and I told him, I said, look, it's probably going to snow a foot over some of the passes. The wind's going to be blowing 40 to 50 miles per hour. I don't want people traveling to that. So unfortunately, we had to cancel our AKC Judges Seminar for this upcoming weekend. We'll try and reschedule it. All right, you guys. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. Again, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Have a good night.